Relationships, not because we love the people, it is because of how they make us feel. So I'm here to ask you, are you in love or are you just having an attachment issue? Today we're going to talk about what is the difference between love and the attachment styles that we have, because some of us are seriously obsessed with people that we don't necessarily love. It's the idea of having them in our lives that is keeping them in our circle. And today that is what we're going to talk about. I'm going to give us 2 seconds, 1 minute, like a few minutes, so that we can have more of you join as I organize something, and then we will start our conversations today. So don't leave, right? I'm coming back in a few. Hi people, karibuni sana. I was giving us a few minutes so that I can have quorum. So thank you for being here. My name is Marion Ndung'u. I am so excited to have you today. We're going to have a very interesting conversation. How do I know if it's love or just attachment? For those that don't know, Marion Mikali talks about relationships, and today we are focusing on love and our attachment style, so that some of us can be sure, am I loving someone because I actually genuinely love them? Am I with them in the relationship because I have attachment issues? And that is what we're going to discuss today. If you like the conversation, kindly also join in and just tell us, have you ever been in a relationship where you just love someone, or have you been in a relationship because of the attachment that you have towards that particular person, and how did it go? Because that is what we're talking about today. Hiya, I'm going to start us off. The first thing about this conversation is that attachment. Hi Jack, karibu sana. In Africa we say karibu, meaning welcome. So to start us off, right? Attachment is when you feel, when you need, okay, give me a minute. I think I'm too excited. I'm too excited before I begin. Hi, so, um, attachment means that you mean that you need that person to be whole. The person that you are with is the one who is making you whole. Like you feel like you're not enough, like you're not a person 100% solely without that particular person that you are dating, that is giving you the wholeness that you think you want. But when you love someone, the difference is, I am whole, but I choose to be with you as a whole person already. So that is the difference between these two attachment styles, and the difference between when you love someone and when you have an attachment issue. So if you are in a relationship that is just for the sake of attachment and it's not love, you will know it because you feel like, I cannot live with this person. I have had and a lot of romantic movies tend to make it look like it's a nice thing when someone says, I cannot live without this person. Without this person, I cannot be who I am supposed to be. I cannot be my 100% and everything. So, because of that reason, you have an issue with attachment. It is good to love someone to a point that you miss them when they are far away. You are having, probably you need them. Hi, Jack. We are talking about how do I know if it's love or just attachment. That is what we are talking about. This is a channel that talks about relationships, and we are discussing our perspectives, because there are people who love people genuinely, but there are others who are, instead of being in a relationship because of love, they are in the relationship because of attachment. They just want to attach to this person because they feel if they cannot attach to this particular person, they cannot breathe. Huh? You know, the song that Chris Brown used to sing during our times, I cannot breathe because without you, there's no air, right? The romantic things that we tell ourselves in the relationship, but at the end of the day, they have a basis that is not very solid in terms of your personality as a person, or your integrity, or you as a whole person. It shows that you're broken. There's something inside of you that needs to be worked on. So romance is good. It's nice to have that fire and be like, you are my whole world. But at the same time, it is some of these things that really change the whole dynamics of relationships. Jack, my name is Marion Mikali Ndung'u. Yeah, and that is the channel that you joined. We are a relationship channel, and we discuss a majority of things in relation to relationships. Yeah, so that is me. And if you like what we are discussing, you can actually like us, subscribe to our channel, and also be our what do we call ourselves? Oh, you're from India. Okay. I am from Kenya, and I'm happy that you have joined us. So you have found us discussing, is it really love or attachment? So you can also comment, have you ever loved someone genuinely and been in a relationship with them, or have you been in a relationship with someone just because of the attachment, the feeling that that person gives you when you are dating them or when you are relating with them? Because let me give you guys a story. I used to live in Kenya. We have a place called Huruma, and for those who are in Kenya know Huruma, we used to live near the slum itself, the slum Madare. And there's this particular guy that was so handsome in my eyes. Like, I really liked the guy. I thought this guy was amazing. This guy was light. He was beautiful. He was a dream come true. But the problem is, I did not like the guy. I liked the version of him that I used to see, and the kind of relationship probably we would have formed if we would have dated, because he looked so dreamy to be real. And I just wanted to just be in a relationship with this person. Not because I liked him. By the way, I didn't like him because I didn't even know him. I used to see him pass by. So I just liked just to know him. But that guy never looked my way. Man, he made me hate light people. Story for another day. But you see, there are people who get into relationships like that because they don't necessarily love you. They love the idea of being with you, and that is what we're talking about. It is the attachment. There are ladies who will love someone because when I am with this person, I am probably being driven to and fro wherever we are going. I am enjoying my life. Hi, Mary. Hi, baby. Good to see you. I'm so happy that you have joined us. Yeah, Jack, thank you so much. And please subscribe and just be following us. In the next 10 days, I'll be going live every day, and we have a different topic to discuss every other day. Today I started a bit late because of some challenges that were beyond me, but normally we usually go live around 8 p.m. East African time. So you can check around your timings. If they agree with ours, it is 8 p.m. East African time, and you will find us having live conversations. Mary, good to see you. I'm so excited to have you. So, as I was saying, there are people who get into the relationship not because they love you, not because you are the problem. It is them. They just love the idea of being with you because probably they have envisioned themselves with you in mind. They have already envisioned children, by the way, with you, but they don't really love you. I don't know if I'm making sense, but yeah, there are people who are just like that. And you find yourself being in a relationship with this person, but for you to know that this person was just attracted to you probably because of what you bring to the table, because of the fantasies you satisfy in their own wicked desires, for lack of a better word, is that once you guys probably begin a relationship, you start to see a lot of what we might call red flags, things that you didn't see, because now you start to see the person for who they really are. You start to understand that this person was actually not with me because they love me. They don't love the versions of me that I bring. They don't love me as a human being. They love what probably I represent. If you are a brand, for example, you're famous, people know you, and every other girl is out here wanting to date you, it's not because they love you as a person. They love the brand that you have built out here. Everyone has what they have built as a career. You are an engineer, and probably the lady just likes you at work. There are men of God I had talking about how women are attracted to their anointing because there's just something amazing that they see and love about a person who is standing in front of people and looking nice and speaking to people. And that really causes them to be in that space of I am so excited to be in this relationship. I really love this person, and I am excited to have this person in my corner, and I am feeling nice when people are looking at me and they are seeing me with this person. I remember when we were in high school, around let me not say because I will look old, but during my time when we were in high school we used to date people not because we love them, but because there was that pressure that was coming from our peers to just date people. Okay, let me take you slowly. I think I'm being too excited because today I'm happy that I'm having people who are actually conversing with me online. But when we were in high school, we used to have what we call brother schools and sister schools. So there was the pressure of dating a person because they are in your brother school and you want to be the girl, and it gave you some sort of uh is it leverage, or you actually got a voice or something to say, even if the guy is ugly and he's not even good looking. As long as he's in that brother school and you guys are dating, there were points that you would be given. So in high school, there was a lot of that pressure that was going around. And these are some of the things that we're talking about attachment. There are people who will date specific tribes, not because they love that person, but because they love the tribe. Like the way there's a rumor that a lot of Luo men are romantic. So you find someone just getting into a relationship with a Luo man because they want to experience that romance, quote unquote, that people are talking about. There's also the aspect of women from Cumberland are very good at in bed, and everyone who wants who is sexual will run to a Kamba lady, not because he loves the Kamba. It is good if you come looking all good, but his what his type is determined by whatever he's looking for in terms of like now the sexual satisfaction, because I heard that Kambas are very good in bed, so now I want to date a Kamba. So such things really affect how people date and get into relationships. So if you're watching me, can you tell me some of the reasons that would cause you to attach to someone that you don't really love? You're just attached to them for a specific reason. There was a time where we used to talk about tall, dark, and handsome. So it was about, if you get a guy that is tall, that is dark and even has a small beard or sideburns, hey, you have entered the league of legends when it comes to a lady, and the guys were also in that platform where before they learned that women are bleaching out here, every guy wanted a very light skinned lady because they looked amazing, in our language we say that rangia thao, so they were a bit more in terms of like preference, they were more preferred by the males because of their complexion. But you see, at the end of the day, the complexion is not the person. So you need to be in a relationship with someone not because of what they're looking like, for all of us that have been in marriages and in relationships probably where you have dated for long, you have noticed that bodies change. So how a girl is looking during their prime years, they continue to age and change and evolve, especially because of childbirth and some of these changes that come, of course, with maturity. And then the skin starts being saggy, they start to develop these things like the one I have, when I was a girl, I had a very long neck. Now I'm fatter, the neck is becoming a bit it's becoming short. So if you loved someone because of their long neck, guess what, here it is reducing. So if my husband loved me because of my neck, very soon he will leave me if I continue eating and growing fat, right? And these are some of these things that we're talking about. They are attachment. You just want to attach to this person because you feel like there's a specific what is it, satisfaction you will get from what they look like. It is not even a matter of who the person is, it is about how they look. Mm? We need to be very careful because that will cause us to get into trouble, and at the end of the day we won't be satisfied, we won't get what we need to get, at the end of the day. And it will cause, of course, to a lot of heartbreak, which we also do not want for ourselves or for you. So the other thing is I'm going to explain about attachment, which is, of course, most of the time rooted through fear, and a lot of people who fear abandonment and being lonely, and of course the fear of rejection. So some of us that are struggling with some of these things are the ones who struggle a lot with what we are calling about attachment. You fear being abandoned, you fear being rejected, and you fear that actually you will be alone. So most of the time, you don't wait to get the right spouse. You are so quick to get into relationships, so quick to accept someone's invitation for coffee and for dates and even for a romantic night out. And some of us even go to the extent of now becoming a girl who sleeps around, because at the end of the day you feel like me having sex with this person cements the relationship that we have. What you don't know is that sex is not what cements the relationship. I know I have had ladies and friends that have come and told me that the guy told me to prove my love to them, and the only way I could prove I love them for them is to have sex with them. And I'm here seated and asking myself, really? And you actually did it. You actually had sex with a guy to prove you love them. You cannot prove love by having sex. It is a benefit, of course, that comes with if you love someone. That is why it is enjoyed in marriage, and it is one of those things that we get to enjoy. But why prove my love to you by having sex? It doesn't make sense. Unfortunately, a lot of girls are victim of that, not because it's because they have the issue that we're talking about, the fear being abandoned. So I feel like if I don't have sex with this person, he won't love me, he will leave me, and I don't want to be left alone. If you are there, you also fear rejection. So probably there's a self-esteem issue that you are struggling with, probably how you speak. You have a lot of what we call accent, right? When you speak, people tend to laugh at you. They feel like you're not very good at conversations and at conversing. So at the end of the day, because you have that fear and that insecurity, you feel like no one will love you because of this one thing that, of course, is not working out for you. And because of that, of course, it will cause you to attach to all the wrong people. Just anyone that is there that will smile with you and show you a few attention. Hey, you are there giving yourself 100 101%, rolling over, submitting to the point of kneeling, serving food, just because you are fearful of being rejected, being abandoned, and that is also some of those things that really affect us as ladies and even as gentlemen. You find that a lot of you that are very, wacha niulize swali now, let me ask you guys a question. There are guys that use their vantage point of having money to actually get women to like them and love them, because they know that women were very materialistic. So now, because I know that I will be comfortable dating you, you give me everything. You provide, you're paying my rent, you're giving me allowances. What we are hearing now in Nairobi, that if you're dating me, you need to give me girlfriends, or I don't know what allowances. And because you're meeting and supplying that need, it causes you to feel like you actually have won me. You don't take time to know the person. You don't take time to invest in the relationship. All you're focused on is, as long as I'm giving this girl money, she will not leave my side. But you see, it's a good thing. But COVID also is a very good lesson for all of us. If you have experienced COVID, you know that things can happen. A lot of people that were very stable during the COVID period experienced a lot of challenges economically. And as much as you are economically okay, you need to also work on yourself, so that at the end of the day, the girl is loving you not because of the resources you are bringing, not because of the resources you're giving them, but because of the value that you have with this person and the intimacy that you create together. So that is also something that we need to factor in. Jack, I see you have written something in Hindi I do not get, so kindly, sorry, I didn't understand. Maybe you can write it in English. Just open. Uh, okay. Thank you so much. That is not going to happen. And as I was saying, you find that a lot of you do not invest in the emotional bit of connection, of you just knowing one another, of being vulnerable to a point this lady can really understand who you are. But because there is nothing like that happening, then that really means that the both of you are not connected. There is just the attachment that is coming in because of the resources. There is no real love, and it is very easy for this girl to actually be taken away from you by another person, probably who is wealthier than you. Then that relationship means it is not going anywhere. Okay, and those are some of these things that we really need to be open about and discuss, and be open with it, and be like, you know what, I love the fact that you are stable, but let's go beyond the money. Let's go beyond that and just now get intimate in terms of understanding one another, being open in terms of communicating and knowing one another, so that even when the challenges come, because they will come, I know how to navigate the challenges that are coming. Okay, yeah, and that is something that we really need to talk about. So love, on the other hand, flows from freedom. It doesn't suffocate, and it strengthens the relationship and the bond that you guys have. So one way of also knowing that the relationship that you have is more of an attachment than a love relationship is the fact that you are not growing, you are not improving one another, you are not helping each other become better. So what you're doing is suffocating one another, because if you are in the relationship and it is not working, and all there is just suffocation, that means that you're just there because of the attachment. And the problem with attaching to someone who is not in love with you is that you will struggle. You will struggle to live in the relationship. You will struggle to marry that person. You will struggle to relate with that person, and everything, of course, will have an issue. So you need to be in that place where you're telling yourself, am I really in the relationship because I am only here because of the benefits I get, or am I here in the relationship because I really love this person? Because sometimes love can really help overcome challenges and struggles that you will have in the future. The other thing that I want to ask you, have you ever mistakenly emotionally been emotional dependent person on someone that probably you dated? Have you ever been there where you are just emotionally attached, you are emotionally dependent on a particular person, where you are there saying, oh, I cannot breathe without this person, if this person leaves me today, me, I'm going to kill myself? And I know there are those threats that we give ourselves because we tend to feel like, oh, love is clingy, but love is not supposed to be clingy. Does it hurt when someone leaves you? Of course it does, but does that really mean that you should hang yourself and die? No, because you are a person, you have your own life. That's why we are talking about when you're coming into love, because it is voluntary, it is coming from a place of freedom. I have a choice of choosing you, and that is the reason why when I come into the relationship, I am coming as a whole person, a full package with everything figured out. As a grown up, I am entering knowingly that, you know what, as Marion, I'm coming into this relationship knowing who I am. And you, as a whole person, you are coming in as a whole person voluntarily for us to relate and to be intimate and to love one another and to know one another. So when the relationship is coming from that level, it is so easy. Even after the breakup, you know, probably because this was dating, it didn't work because we are different people. Probably his preferences and mine are different. And you don't feel like just because the relationship did not work, you don't blame yourself and be like, maybe I'm the problem. Maybe I'm not pretty enough. Maybe I just didn't give him all that he needed, you know. And maybe I didn't know all the sex styles. I was the issue, yada yada, and all these other things that we tend to think that we are the problem concerning, you know. And we need to really step out of what I look like physically when you are relating with someone. It has to be more than just how I look. It is about who I am as a person, because Marion is not this body. It is not the makeup that we put on Sundays and on events so that we look nice. It is who I am when all the lights are off, when I'm not on social media. Who am I? Yeah, so that really affects the way you relate and how you actually form intimacy and connection, which is very important. If you have been emotionally dependent on someone, and I know that there are things like those that really happen, you just got into the relationship. I know that some of us also do a lot of rebounds because you are coming from a very bad relationship, and now you are looking for someone who will love you, someone who will care for you, someone who will be supportive, because I have been hurt before, I have been broken, and now I am finding a man who is probably agreeing to take care of me and to meet the needs that my ex was not meeting. So of course, because of such reasons, then that causes you to feel a certain type of way, and you develop a lot of attachment and emotional dependency. And it can be nice for a moment because you find the satisfaction that you have been looking for, but the problem is that it causes you to be swayed easily. And sometimes, because you see, you rushed into the relationship, you are just going there to get something satisfied, you didn't go into the relationship because you liked the person. And that also can be a problem, and it will really affect you, because now what was bringing you happiness will now become a problematic thing for you, because when that particular need is now not met, then of course you will have a challenge. You will stop being happy, and of course you will start to resent the person that was giving you whatever it is that you were looking for initially. So if you're in that space, my advice would be, take time before you get into the next relationship. Before you relate with another person, give yourself time to heal whatever it is that you feel is broken. Yesterday we were talking about unhealed wounds that causes us to make decisions that are very that are a mistake, right? And these mistakes will eventually haunt you and affect the way everything else is working in your life. So you need to make sure that you heal. Take time off and be like, intentionally, I need to make sure that I am healed enough before I move on into the next relationship. Because if you are so quick to go into the next relationship, you are going to look for something that you will not find. And once you not when you get into that relationship and you don't find it, then now you become being frustrated, and it becomes a very big challenge for you. The other thing is, so how can you test your connections with the person that you're with. And this one is something that I want to be so practical for you and even for your loved one, and just be in that space. Ask yourself, can I really survive without this person? Am I okay being on my own even without my relationship? I know sometimes when we ask ourselves these questions, they scare us because we feel like we have invested in the relationship. So the thought of you leaving, the thought of him leaving you can cause some chaos, and that is something that all of us do not want, because I don't think there's anyone who gets into a relationship knowing that it will end. We all get into the relationship having hopes that this relationship will go somewhere, it will bear fruit, you know. So practical ways of just testing the connection that you have. Am I complete on my own? You know, do a checklist as a person. Am I practically okay even without the person that I am living with, even without the person that I am relating with? Because you need to make sure that you are a whole person even without that person being a part of your life and your circle. Okay. You can also do other practical tests, of course, just looking beyond the appearances, beyond the physical looks, and ask yourself serious, honest questions. Am I okay with this person even without probably the way they look? Because I know there are some of us that have gotten into relationships, probably we are in one right now, or we are in marriages where we have gotten in not because we love the person but because of how they look. So I'm going to ask you another question. If that person was probably to get an accident, God forbid, and whatever it is that you love about them physically was affected, if it is the face, probably it is smashed and it is halfway like this, or if it is the beauty, maybe they burn or something, or they lose a leg or an arm. If it is a figure eight, you know, they now maybe have a pregnancy that causes them not to regain their shape, and such things, right? Or they become sick and the sickness takes away the butt, because I know there are some of us that want just to look at the good big ass, right? If the ass is gone, are you still going to love this person? Do they have more than just the physique to sustain the relationship? Are you guys connecting? Apart from that, is there connection? Is there intimacy? Are you guys having conversations? You know, can you just look at that person and still see beauty and still see handsomeness even without the figure, even without that thing that it is that you love? And once you do those checklists and you're like, oh, I love the person that this person is, he is funny, regardless of the fact that he's good looking. Apart from the looks, there is the funniness, there is the maturity. I love the way he makes sound decisions. I love the way he's a leader. I love this and that and the other outside the physique. Then you will know that you are in that relationship because you love the person and not because of their physique. So the other thing I want to ask you, do you feel peace or anxiety when they are around? Those are some of the things that you need to ask yourself, so that you know, am I in love with this person, or am I just here because of how the person looks? I'm just here for the attachment. So if that person gives you a lot of peace when they're around, of course that shows that you love this person, because you love them, you trust them, and you trust their being around you. And that is also something that can really be an assurance. By the way, I love this person, they calm every storm around me, they calm the seasons, you know, and they make life interesting and beautiful. But every time you see them or you're around them, you're anxious because you feel like, oh my goodness, I cannot fart in peace, I cannot eat in peace. Every other time I need to watch everything I do because I need to forever be impressing this person, you know. If that is the relationship you're in, Aki, please, for your own sake, look for reasons why you need to exit. Because at the end of the day, you're not in that relationship because you love the person. And that anxiety that you live with around that particular person, at the end of the day, will cause you to have problems emotionally, And the worst part is, at the end of the day, the person will leave. Imagine, even with you trying to be perfect, when you continually be anxious around that person, it is a clear indication that there is no love between the two of you. And that anxiety is a warning sign to tell you, by the way, you need to exit very fast. The other thing, can you be yourself really, or do you walk on eggshells? We talked about this yesterday, but when we're talking about you being yourself really, it's like right now, personally as Marion, I am here having a conversation with you without any makeup. I am free. I am being myself. I know that there are other people who are doing vlogs that need to actually make sure that they are dolled up every other time they come on the public space. Why? Because according to them, they feel like I need to hide some blemishes. I need to work on a few pimples. I don't want people to see that I am flawed. I want to always look perfect, you know? And there are people who actually behave like that and live like that even in their marriages and in their relationships, because they are trying to be so perfect for this particular person. Even when it comes to just looking good in the house, they need to do so much to try and please this person. You cannot just be free around that particular person, yet you say you love them. Aki, it's a lie. You need to actually just start packing and look for an exit strategy. The other thing I'm going to ask, because of course Marion is a born-again Christian, is does the love that you have with that person draw you closer to God or pull you away? You know, two people, Bible says, cannot walk together unless they agree. And the fact that you are walking together with this person means that there has to be something between the two of you that causes you to agree. When you're like this and you're deciding to walk together, even when you're praying together, you have shared goals, shared aspirations, and you can actually go before God together and just be in and stand in the gap for one another and pray for one another. So you cannot walk together unless you agree. If you disagree at the end of the day and just be like, okay, probably the way I think is not the way he thinks. You know, we are different people. You know, we are independent. You know, God will change that person at the end of the day, and it's true, God does change. But you know, when you meet this person, don't enter into a relationship with the hope of that person changing. I remember when I was dating, in my early years, there was a lady that we used to work with, and she was asking us a question: are you the Holy Spirit? If the Holy Spirit did not change this person before you met them, what makes you think that you have the capability to change that person? Yet the Holy Spirit is the one who knows this person more than you. He's the one who knows even the purpose this person is here on earth. But you feel like, with the conviction I have and the love I have for this person, oh my God, I'm sure they will change. Just for me, they will change. They will become better. Really, girl, really. Wow, okay. If you feel like you have the work and you have the capability and you are ready to take care of that particular person and help them change, you go ahead and do that and get tired on your own. What you will be doing is you will be helping another lady and molding their husband for them. And then at the end of the day, that man will leave you and go to another person, because that is something that they have to really take care of. Lisa, hi Lisa, I don't really understand what you wrote. Kindly, please write again, kindly. So if you are in that space, you feel like, oh my God, I can change him, you know, because he loves me, because he loves me and he wants us to make the relationship work. He's going to do his best and he will change. He told me that he used to beat his exes, but he will never touch me. Girl, Msichana, stop dreaming. Come back to reality. The same girls that were being beaten, those ones that he was telling you about, even those ones, when they were starting dating, he told them the way he will never beat them. He actually expresses that the problem is the girls. See, that's what he tells you. They were the problem. They were the ones who were offending him. Even they were the ones who were causing him to even, they were provoking him. See, he told you that. Yeah, even you, when you get into the relationship, yeah, unfortunately, you will also provoke him because there's something that you will do. Because the problem is not you. You guys are not in agreement, right? The problem will not be you. You will disagree probably even about a phone or the right time to close sijui I don't know what, and it will be an issue, and that will be provocation, and that day you will be beaten, and you will remember what he was telling you. Oh, they provoke me, and you are the one who is provoking him. So make sure that you guys are in agreement, right? You agree on everything. Agree. Okay, let me explain this agreement that I'm talking about. I'm not saying that the relationship will not have disagreements, because disagreements are there. You two people are grown up, you have been raised differently from different backgrounds, so your way of thinking is different, but that does not disqualify the fact that we have decided that we are going to build this relationship together. So we might disagree the right way to close the door, but we agree that the door needs to be closed. So like you agree on the bigger picture, you agree on how you should parent. Is it different? You want godly children, for example. The way you will parent them to be godly might now be where you two will disagree, but at least you're agreeing that the children should be godly. So that is you being together and working together in agreement. Am I making sense? I hope I am. So that is what we mean. So two cannot work together unless they do what? They agree. So make sure that the person you are with, you agree. Your line of thought, you are planning to probably open a boutique. Is this person in a place where they also see you in the near future opening a boutique? Are they in a place where they can actually support you? Whether they have the finances or not, emotionally, are they capable to promote you and help you actually open the boutique? Because the boutique, you can go and loan money, but this person is that person. Can he be that person who will support you to do that? And some of these things are things we need to check out concerning. The last thing I just want to say in terms of attachment and love, we can refer love is patient and kind. Where does that scripture come from? Corinthians? Corinthians, I think it's Corinthians, right? Tuniangalilie, shika niangalie. I think it's Corinthians, right? Let me have someone check for me. Where it talks about love is patient, love is kind, love does not want its own, whatever it is. It can love endures all and all that. How many of you know that scripture? Anyone here who knows the scripture? Can you help me find it? As I'm having someone else do it, and that can be a very good reference of what love is. We have our distorted forms and distorted our understanding of love. For us, we have probably been in spaces where we have been socialized too much by westernization, when they create movies and they make love romantic, and for them they show us that love is when the man is a gentleman, he opens the door when I'm getting into the car. So that is the kind of love you think you want. That is the romantic kind of love that makes you want that person. And you are there saying that our Kenyan men, our African men are not romantic because they don't open doors. Because you saw Alejandro, who is acting a movie that has been scripted, opening a door. My sister. Higher. You now see them kissing when there is sunset. You want the same thing from an African man who is very busy working because they need to make sure they are providing for you. When do they have time to meet with you during sunset and just go somewhere near the beach or water surface areas, and you guys have an intimate kiss? Or when it is raining. Our romantic, our love definition has been conditioned a lot by the movies we watch. We have now seen Nigerians who are getting into the romantic scene, and they are really doing a good job in just creating romantic movies, but at the end of the day, that is not the romance that you will find on the ground. It is hardly that you will find a man who will wash your shoes, who will massage your legs. He will do that once in a while, probably, or when you're having an intimate moment, or when you ask, by the way. You'll then be like, oh babe, I feel bad, can you just massage my leg, you know? Thank you, Mary. Mary says it's Corinthians 13, 4 to 8. So you guys can go and read that. Yeah, it just defines love in his totality and wholesomeness. Like, love is patient, it's kind, it doesn't want to do its own way, you know. And it can really help you understand the true definition of love, even for people who are asking the question, how do I know that this person loves me? They might not give you the world, but they are kind towards you. They want you to prosper. They are doing everything that they can to make sure that, by the way, whatever it is that you need is provided for. And as much as they are not giving you the world, quote unquote, they are doing their best to make sure that you're happy, you're comfortable. That is a person that loves you. So don't be so focused on the romantic, the wazungu kind of love, where it is about you being carried off your feet. If you're heavy like me, surely who will have the time and the energy to carry you? You can imagine me, I'm 80 kgs. So if someone is going to suffer to just carry me because he's trying to prove that I am I am loved, it doesn't work like that, right? So if you guys can get the time, right, and read First Corinthians 13, 4 to 8, it really helps to help you understand what love is. You know, love is long suffering. Like, it can stay there. I am here because I love someone, and this person is actually causing me to suffer, or the love itself is causing me to suffer. I am not comfortable in probably the way this love is coming in, it's that way, but because I love the person and I am willing to stick through the end, I allow myself to suffer with that person in a season, because at the end of the day, I need us to work. You know, love does not parade itself. It is not all the time. You know, the PDAs that we see even out here, where the celebrities are forcing issues, you know, and parading it everywhere. It can be that, it can be nice, because there are people who are just extravagant at showing it, but it doesn't have to parade itself. You can actually gently love someone without parading it, you know. And some of these things, yeah, so go through them and just find out what it talks about. It can bear all things, it believes in all things, it hopes all things, it endures all things, you know. So go ahead and read that, because it will help you now understand, even from the conversations that we have, what love is all about. Thank you, Tosh, for expanding on it so that we know. Yeah, you see. And let me just read what he's saying. Love suffers long and is kind. Love does not envy. Love does not parade itself. It is not it is not a puffed up, does not behave rudely, does not seek its own, is not provoked, thinks no evil, does not rejoice in iniquity. Aki, I'm telling you, because of the light here, I cannot see. Let me do it like this. Thinks no evil, does not rejoice in iniquity, but rejoices in truth, bears all things, believes all things, hopes all things, endures all things. Can you see the definition of love and how amazing that is? If you imagine if you find someone who just is fulfilling this kind of love in your life, how amazing your relationship is going to be, and how easy it is to even form a marriage and a relationship in a very good foundation that is not complicated. It is not about you opening the door, but can you not keep a record of wrong even when I offend you? Is it like you forgive me and you let it go? You know, you're like Christ, he forgives and forgets. Can you even, you see how love is amazing when it is done right? You know, it does not delight in evil, but rejoices with truth. It always protects, trusts, hopes, and preserves. Look at that. Amazing, amazing definition of love. And I love it because it actually speaks to us. If we emulate this kind of love, we are going to have amazing amazing relationships, and you will enjoy being even intimate and in a relationship with someone, because at the end of the day you delight in good, not evil. You rejoice with the truth. You are always protected. It protects, it trusts, it hopes and preserves. Oh, amazing. These are just amazing definitions that I hope everyone gets to enjoy and everyone gets to speak about and just walk in them, because they are just an amazing definitions of love. Love is patient, it is kind, and all these things. It does not boast, it is not proud or rude, it is not selfish, it is not easily angered or resentful, it does not keep a record of wrongs. Amazing definitions of love. And I just want to say thank you. We have gotten to the end of this segment. I hope we have enjoyed ourselves. I am giving us a few minutes so that I can see if there's anyone who will post a question. Is there anyone who has a question for us who can post a question before we conclude? Mary, are you still there? Do you have a question in regards to attachment and love? Jack, are you there? Do you have a question in terms of attachment and love? Tosh, do you have a question in regards to love and attachment? Lisa Osborne, thank you so much, guys, for joining. Do you have a question when it comes to love and attachment, so that we can just touch on them quickly just before we conclude? I am giving us a second so that I see if you have any questions before we conclude. Yeah, do we have any questions before I finish? Any questions? Any questions? I am here to answer questions before we conclude. I want us to finish in style. I am doing these lives because I want us to relate as people that are walking a journey together. Let us not just build an audience. Let it be a transformative journey for both of us. One, so that I can know the kind of people that I am dealing with and the kind of questions probably we might have, so that even as I create content, in this case videos, I know what exactly to touch on, because of course I will be answering a specific question to a specific person, and it is easier that way. And even here, when we're going live, if you have questions that you can ask and just get answers to, that would be amazing, wouldn't it? Instead of me always just going in front of a camera and recording a whole 30 or so minutes and never get feedback, and I don't know if the video is helpful to anyone. Yeah, so the live is really helping us. So before we conclude, as I am waiting for you guys to post question, Tosh has said he does not have any questions, but so that I allow us to also be thinking about the questions that we have, I want to inform us that we are going to be going live every day for the next 10 days. So we started yesterday, this being our day 2, and we are going, I have now 8 more days to go, and we are touching on topics that have questions that people have been asking a lot, even on the internet. So I had the help of AI to just ask some of these questions that we have, that people are asking a lot and frequently online concerning love and relationships, that we could touch on. And I got 10 amazing questions that we are going to discuss over the period of 10 days. So this being our day 2, we have 8 more days to go. I'll be going live at 8 p.m. every day, East African time, right? So make sure, if you can, to join us. We are going to have an awesome time. I love when we have feedback, when I have a live audience, because I get to be free, I get to interact with you guys, and you get to also know me on a personal level, rather than when I've already pre-recorded. Because when I've pre-recorded, I am so how do I put it? I'm so organized, I tend to put myself very maturely, and you won't get to really interact with me and know me personally. So I feel like these live sessions are really helpful because I get to interact with you. So Mary, do you have any other question before we conclude? And you guys, Tosh is my husband. Hi baby. People don't know that you're my husband, so let me just say this so that they know. Tosh is my husband. Thank you so much for your support. I thank you for joining today. God bless you. Mary, do you have any questions? And Mary is my kababy. I really love this girl. She's amazing. She has a sweet spirit. I'm really honored that you guys joined in. it humbles me, you know. Kusema tu kweli, when you see people you know just support you, it just feels nice. So thank you so much for using your bundles, using your Wi-Fi and time to be here with me. It is such an amazing privilege and an honor that you could listen. So God bless you so very much. Lisa, are you still there? Do you have a question? And if not, then let us finish, because I feel like we have really spent a lot of time here, and I'm so happy. You guys, you humble me. It feels nice to have you. Asanteni sana. I don't take your time for granted. Aki, God bless you so much, and see you tomorrow at 8 p.m. Today we started a bit late, right? But I know that tomorrow we will maintain time, and we are going to have an awesome time. I don't want to tell you what we are going to talk about, but just come. You will enjoy. It is going to be amazing. I will try and make it as fun as possible, as interesting as possible, so that even as we interact, you know, we enjoy ourselves and we have fun together. So see you, and thank you so much for being here. Bye bye, and see you tomorrow at 8 p.m. East African time. God bless you.